Okay. Thank you all for coming. Good evening, all of you, or whatever time you're in. With our New Voices Killy for Kids fundraising campaign, we encountered some challenges. We had some experiences, and that is the reason why we would like to talk about LCIF and fundraising marketing today. Actually, I would like to introduce the team, our New Voices Team Europe, and I will in a second will introduce our speakers. The only remark I have, would you please mute yourself? Because otherwise we have some disturbances and it would be great to have only the speakers which we are hearing. Thank you so much. Wow, this is our 15th Fireside. New Voices Fireside. Isn't that incredible? Where is the time? Look where we are today with the New Voices. I would like to thank you all for your hard work, your loyalty, and your passion. And I am very, because it's not about me, it's about our speakers today. So I would like to introduce to you Lion Paul Steele and Lion Peter Vermeeren. Lion Paul is the Regional Development Manager for Europe and Africa at LCIF in headquarters in Oak Brook. And he helped us a lot with the Killy for Kids fundraising campaign. And he will talk to us about LCIF. Lion Peter Vermeeren is immediate past president of the Lions Club Valencia. And he's also president of the Lions Brunch Club, the Nomads. It's a specialty cyber club. And the cyber club is dedicated to marketing and project development. He is the chairperson and a New Voice marketing and the multiple district chairperson marketing for Spain. And he will tell us more about the secrets of marketing. So I would like to turn the microphone over to our first speaker, which is Lion Paul. Please, Paul, the mic is yours. And I will change the slides if you tell me when.
Perfect. Thank you so much, PID Elizabeth. And thank you all. It's a pleasure to see so many new faces, as well as to see some people that I already know from my work with CA4, particularly PCC Heikki. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you all for your time and for supporting Killy for Kids. I'll begin, PID Elizabeth, with the first slide. And actually, we can probably move at this point to the second slide, and I'll just continue talking from there. As PID Elizabeth said, my name is Paul Steele. I'm the Regional Development Specialist or Manager for CA4 Europe and CA8 Africa. So I work a lot with our foundation to help our volunteers raise money that support our programs. And so I have a joke in our team that the programs people, the people who give grants, the doors are always open for them wherever they go, and they close as soon as I show up because everyone thinks I'm going to ask them for money. But it is this money that supports our amazing programs. And part of what I wanted to talk about today is just how LCIF goes about approving a program, because I think for a stewardship perspective, knowing what we do and why we do it and how is important for our Lions to know. And I want to frame this within the context of Killy for Kids, so you know how we've approached this project too. And the first thing I want to say is that as stewards of LCIF's donation, LCIF is stewards of the reputation of our projects, and of the lions that receive permission for projects, and of the lions that are donating. And so we have a lot of stakeholders. If I could ask for the next slide, please. And so this is an example of our donors being stakeholders for us. It's important for us to acknowledge that the first thing that comes to mind, of course, is that our donors are stakeholders, and we believe that you guys believe in our causes when you donate to LCIF, and that you trust us to do the right thing with the donations that you send to us. And that trust includes expectations that we are going to use the money to support our lion community in efficient ways, in ethical ways, and in impactful ways. That trust comes with a lot of pressure, but we want that pressure. That's why we're here as an organization. Next slide, please. Of course, our grant recipients are also stakeholders. I'm not just talking about lions. Our lions apply for grants, but often it's everyone in their communities that benefit. And that's why our reputation is so important, because each project is a representation of our local lions, as well as who we are as an organization. We have a team of staff, we have volunteer committees, technical partners, specialists, all working together to provide insight that ensures that every application for an LCIF grant is designed to ensure that there's financial transparency on a project. The project serves a strong need that local governments cannot or will not address, that the right planning is in place to ensure a high level of sustainability for an impact, and that lions at the local level are directly involved in the design and implementation of the project. Next slide, please. So we also acknowledge that lions in their communities are our stakeholders. Our service and our grants are our calling card for the organization. They're important reason people join Lions, and how we are recognized and remembered around the world. We believe that earning the trust of our volunteers and the world at large should be an important result of our projects. And our volunteers, the ones that implement projects, it's their reputations often that are tied to the success of these projects. They live in those communities before the projects, they implement the projects, they live in them afterwards. So we want those projects to be highly successful, so that the people that are seeing those projects understand who we are as Lions, and why we do this work that we do, and why people donate to us. Next slide, please. This last slide notes only that LCIF is audited by the US government to retain its nonprofit status. So we have an external stakeholder as well. So someone that watches us to make sure that our donations are spent ethically and as intended, and our accounting and reporting are accurate as well. Next slide, please. And Elizabeth, I'll ask you to skip the next two slides, actually, this one and the next one. These are good topics, but I want us to be able to get to questions as well. So in the interest of time, we'll just push forward. What you see here is how we evaluate project proposals. And there are three things we really look for. We look for impact, to make sure that the project serves the needs and resources of a population, and that it's focused on the population and will impact the population it's intended to. For sustainability, we look at project plans, the partners involved, the community and lion involvement, and the ability to meet identified needs. We also examine financial planning, and we understand that the involvement of communities and line involvement is truly what makes our program sustainable. We also evaluate all the programs for cost, for redundancies and cost, and for opportunities to save money so that our projects have efficient spending. Thank you. Next slide, please. So with regards to stewardship of operations, we do want everyone to know that 100% of donations that are donated to LCIF are spent on projects, and we really do want to focus on accountability and transparency for those donations so that we can focus on efficiency. And we can skip PID Elizabeth, maybe we can go actually. There are some examples of slides here, but I think we'll skip those and move directly to the Kili for Kids slide, and again, in the interest of time. Oh, and there's a small Kili for Kids picture there, and I'll use that to just describe the fact that we do have a project right now that our hikers are engaged in. I'm sure most people here are aware of the Kili for Kids adventure team, 10 lions from 10 countries, all women, all demonstrating leadership in choosing a project that they wanted to support. These women are not leaders insofar as they're not elected leaders, but they are leaders in our lion community. And we're truly grateful for their efforts, and to New Voices for supporting them. I often like to say that when women choose to be leaders, we all need to support them, and that includes men, because leaders need followers. And it's truly important for us to be supporting these women as they finish their project. And of course, the orphans that it supports in Kenya, which includes, this project adds a preschool so that single women, single mothers who have to work, typically at a local quarry for less than $1 a day, have a place that will keep their children safe, that will feed them, and that will educate them. And that education and that exposure to education is so deeply important. This is a $100,000 project, and we are $13,000 away. We are so close to our goal now. So I want to say thank you to everyone for the efforts that they have been making. And I truly hope that within the next couple of months, we can reach that goal. So I'll pause here. I see Analia has posted opportunities to donate in the chat box. And if there are any questions about the project now, or about LCIF's role in stewarding donations, I would be very happy to take them. You can either type them in the chat if you're feeling a little shy, or I think probably you could unmute your mic as well and ask questions.
We have a raised hand because the New Voices are not shy, Paul.
I didn't expect so.
We have a raised hand from Luciano. Luciano, you have to unmute yourself, please.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. Well, I want to do a question for Paul, because I think that we have to do a step forward to increase the collective money in our country. I'm Italian, and one of the main problems is related with the fact that it's not possible for the donors to deduct from the taxes the donation. And this is a big problem, because we lose in this way a lot of money from the stakeholders that are interested to invest in our association. So I know there are many different memorandum of understanding with some countries like Germany, like Canada, like Australia, to involve local foundation with agreement made with the LCIF to grant, to create the opportunity through a local foundation to deduct the donation to our LCIF. So do you think that it is possible to have a sort of model now to propose to every country to solve this problem? Because I think that this is the main problem to increase our donation in the single countries? I think that you are American, isn't it?
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Yes, that's true. But the situation in the United States is completely different with the IRS. We have something similar in our countries. And so, you know, that is not always possible to deduct. So the strategy in fundraising will be a little bit different in Europe or other countries where we don't have agreement with the local IRS.
So, Lion Luciano, and it's Luciano, is it Luciano? Luciano, my apologies. Yes. I truly appreciate your question. I think it's a good one. I can tell you that in countries where LCIF has currently tax agreements, there has been very intense help and foundational work done by local lions. And I believe that Trustee Castellana, who of course is part of LCIF's Board of Trustees, has been working very diligently inside Italy to try to facilitate opportunities for tax relief for donations to LCIF. It is always a challenge in Europe. We know that this is a concern for everybody. And we do have to negotiate these country by country. So those countries that have those tax breaks have our local lions within those countries have taken up the torch to make sure that that is possible. And if there are other local lions that wish to do that in their own countries, we would welcome that opportunity. But we do need local assistance for those. I will say also that, you know, we would love to see that in as many places as possible. And we know that, for example, in Europe, it's an issue far more than perhaps in Steele, where we see lots of donations regardless of tax breaks. But there's a mindset that's definitely we've heard a number of times, and we look forward to seeing a shift in this issue.
Thank you, Paul.
My pleasure.
Any other questions for Paul here? At this time, if you have one, raise your hand. Otherwise, you can put it into the chat and we come back later. Thank you so much, Paul, for your explanation, and we know how to find you when we have more questions. Thank you. So I would like to switch to marketing and give the floor to Lion Peter. Peter, are you ready?
Good evening, everybody. Yes, I am ready. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you about something what I'm dedicating my work at marketing for the last 20 years. What is marketing? Can you give me the first slide, please?
Yes.
Okay, what is marketing really? I know most of you will have some sort of idea in your mind about what marketing is. But basically, marketing is selling a service or product to someone who doesn't need it, doesn't want it, or doesn't even give it a thought. We are surrounded by it, and every minute we are awake, we are bombarded by marketing messages, where it's on TV, on the radio, newspaper, or our friend telling you about this last cell phone he bought on Amazon. He is marketing for Amazon, he is marketing for the brand. But marketing is really a science which is based on numbers combined with psychology, as we will see in the next slides. Marketing is a very extensive field, but the procedures for selling a product, a service, having a fundraiser, or a service project are always the same. It's a very simple 3-step program, which should be the base of every project we do as Lions or Leos. A service or a visibility project without a solid marketing plan is almost bound to failure. Each club, each district, and each area should have a dedicated marketing team. Slide 2, please. What is a customer buying person? Well, a customer buying person is just a fancy term to determine your preferred public. This is the goal public, the people you know who are interested in what you are going to do with your project or with your fundraiser. Let's take an example here. Who will you sell to? If you have to sell ice, would you sell it to a polar bear, a Bedouin tribe, or would you sell it to fishermen? Maybe the polar bear would not be a good idea because they don't have money, don't have a credit card. The next thing that comes to mind, which would be an option, would be the Bedouin tribe in the desert. But it's not a good idea either, because I don't think they know how to conserve the ice. So you would have to teach them. And it's difficult to store the ice in the desert because of the high temperature. So your production costs would outweigh the benefits. The next possibility is not just, wouldn't be the first one that comes to mind, which is the fisherman. But the fishermen need ice every day to keep their fish fresh. If you set up your distribution center in a harbor, your transportation costs are very low. And your production cost, if you use the sea and the wind to produce the energy to create the ice, your production costs are also very low. So it's easier to sell to a fisherman than to a Bedouin or to a polar bear. What I want to say with this is that you need to know the interests, the places to go, the pain points, the habits, and so on of all your customer buying persons for each project. And these are easy to find. Just join Facebook groups or go to forums. It's very easy to find, especially the pain points of the people you are going to direct your project to. Once you have determined your preferred public, you can go on to the next step, because it does not make sense to go to step 2 without having finished this one. In a corporation or a business, it will cost you thousands of euros if you don't finish this one as perfect as possible. Next slide, please. This is a very extensive one, but I wanted to keep it short because I could talk days about this one. The message is very important. Once you know who you're going to target, your customer buying person, it is time to create a message. This looks like a very simple task, but it is not, because your message must be perfect or your marketing plan will fail. The message usually will consist of text and visual. The visual that might be an image, might be a video, or you can even use an audio message. The things you must keep in mind when you create your message, when you create your marketing message, is you must respect the rules of graphic design. Pay attention to the colors, please. Colors speak to your mind and speak to your soul and must be carefully considered. For example, our Lions color blue can represent depth, trust, loyalty, sincerity, wisdom, confidence, stability, faith, and intelligence, but also is impersonal and can even be considered as unfriendly. The yellow one, on the other hand, represents joy and happiness, but also cowardice, sickness, mental illness. It is the color of sensationalism and even of excess. So you must consider very, very well which colors you are going to use in your marketing message. Make sure there is a balance between the message and the visual. Don't put too many images in a single creative. It will distract the viewer attention from the message. Don't use caps in your message. It is considered rude and shouting. Don't use pictures of your team, please. Instead, focus on the people you are serving. I see so many pictures on Facebook of a bunch of people with boxes. This is not giving a message. This is telling that you are giving boxes to someone. It's not telling anything about your fundraiser. It's not telling anything about your service project. If you're using videos, please use short videos from 30 seconds to 1 minute, because in most cases, people can digest the photo in a second or two, but the video grabs more attention and causes people to focus more on the message in the video. The underlying concept of your message boils down to something very simple, but very complicated to achieve. In marketing circles, we say, if you can make the person smile or cry, you got a winner. What does this mean? This is called emotional marketing and is the most efficient of all. Emotional marketing is a form of marketing communication in which a singular emotion is leveraged to help an audience identify with and buy a product. Emotions in marketing like anger, happiness, and compassion give more meaning and depth to the experience of a brand or a product. Next slide, please. Now, this one is where most people fail. Check your numbers. This is the part which is very important. to make your project a lot more efficient. It is important to know the engagement and reach of your publication, because if not, how can you measure the effect of it? How do you know that you reached your public? It is not good practice just to see how many likes you have on your posts. That will be easy, but you must drill down and take a look at who did like your post. I prefer 5 unknown people who like my post, because it's better than 5 friends, because it will give me a hint and will indicate if I'm reaching my public, if I'm reaching my customer buying person. Posts without shares are not interesting enough and should be changed. And posts without replies fail on their call to action. All posts should invite people to comment or say something, because this will make a post, give at least the post the possibility to become viral. Next slide, please. Adjust and repeat. Your numbers will allow you to adjust your campaign and reach near perfection. They will tell you if your visuals are correct, the impact of your text, your call to action, the engagement, and so on. And the really good thing of it is that you can adjust them all. And don't be afraid to dump a bad campaign and set up a new one. Strive for perfection in all your messages, because at the end, they're talking about you, they're talking about your brand, and they're talking about our organization. Next slide, please. Know your channels. This is what I'm struggling with all the time with most of my customers. They focus all their attention on the social networks. The social networks are just a means to get a very short message to the people. As you can see on this image, social media posts have a very short lifespan. A Facebook post lasts only like 18 minutes before it will be buried on hundreds of other posts. All social media should be used to support a website. And you can see, according to this visual, or a post on a blog lasts at least 2 years. If people want information, if you want information, you recur to Google or another search engine to look it up, and you will find it on a website. Eventually, you will end up on a website, because the social media posts don't appear on Google. So you should use the social media for short messages, but always direct them to a complete and a longer version of your message on your own website. And we'll talk about that on the next slide. Next slide, please. Grow your database. This is the #1 tool everybody needs. If 20 years ago somebody would have told me, Peter, do you want 100,000 euro, or do you want a dedicated database with 1,000 people who have shown interest in marketing services, I would have chosen the database, no doubt about it. This is also where a website plays a crucial role, because it will allow you to create a database of interested people who gave you permission to contact them. And you can segment your database per location, interest, age group, language, whatever you want to put in it, you can segment it. And why is this so interesting? The benefits of having a database are obvious. You already defined your customer buying person, we saw in the beginning. These people already told you what they want and what they need, and you have their name, their email, and maybe a phone number. Each and every time you do something that might be of interest to your database members, you can send them an email, WhatsApp, or SMS to inform them of the activity. And this will save you a lot of time and effort trying to find interested people every time you plan a project or fundraiser. Even if you don't have a website or a digital database, you can use the same concept. Take a notebook with you on each service project so you can take note of the people who ask for more information or want to be involved. The ideal contact data are name, email, cell phone, interest area, because you can use them later in all your other campaigns. Next slide, please. Okay, these are just little differences between a fundraiser and a project. The first one is a customer buying person. He tends to be a little bit more emotional in fundraiser projects than in a service project. So this leads us to the second point, which is the message. The message should be more emotional in a fundraiser than in a service project. There are nuances, there are little differences, but basically that's the idea. You have to go to the emotions in a fundraiser and not that much in a service project. The lifespan of a fundraiser is prolonged in time. Usually a fundraiser takes like a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, half a year, or whatever you decide. But a service project is fixed in time. It usually is 1 day or a weekend. And the cross promotion is extremely important in service projects, but should not be done in a fundraiser, because a fundraiser has only one goal, and you should not distract people from the goal, because you will dilute the message, and at the end they will not donate nothing. So you can do this with a service project. If you're doing a service project, let's say for hunger, you can include promotion for diabetes. That's just an example for cross promotion. Last slide, please. Okay, here we go with the closure. This is the end. But as you have seen during this presentation, I followed the concepts of marketing. First of all, the customer buying person. You're all here because you wanted to hear Paul speak about donations, about the LCIF, and you wanted to hear me speak about marketing. So I have already identified, well, it was the team who did this, identified my customer buying person, my public. I already have them because you all wanted to hear about marketing. The message, since each one of you has a different concept or an idea of marketing, a different background, different interests, I didn't want to distract your attention with images. Instead, I used a simple black background. We think of black as sophisticated and serious. It's the preferred color for formal attire. Black is unambiguous, it's definite, it's not easily misunderstood, and in design, it's dramatic and helps create a feeling of certainty. The black color is in perfect balance with the message. Marketing is a serious matter and cannot be taken light. And finally, check your numbers. Impossible to do, so I cannot rinse and repeat on this one, but marketing, I just want to tell you, marketing cannot be learned overnight. There are many aspects, many things to consider in a marketing plan. It combines graphic design, psychology, data extraction and analysis, social networking, website design, audiovisual design, network marketing, and so much more. As a perfect marketing team consists of one person for each one of these tasks. But as volunteers, we never have all the resources we need. But that's one thing I really would like to underline. Less is more, but make it stand out of the crowd and be perfect in what you do. Thank you. Any questions, please?
Thank you, Peter. I will open the floor for questions. If someone wants to raise his or her hand, then I would like to just for my understanding, because I like your black background, but I did not actually remember everything you said. So I wrote it down. And I just wanted to just refer to what's important in marketing. You say is your customer buying person, which in our situation would be the target group.
Yes, exactly. It's the same.
Yes.
Your target
Okay.
group, your public.
Okay. And what's also important, you told us, are the rules of graphics. So colors are actually very important when we think of a campaign or something like that.
Right.
Short videos, we cannot repeat it enough. Too long videos will not be seen.
You have between 3 and 8 seconds to catch the attention.
Exactly. So the video should not be longer than between 30 seconds and 1 minute.
Correct.
Okay. My question would be, how do you make someone to comment on social media?
I'm sorry, Elizabeth.
Yes?
Could you close the screen share?
I will, yes.
Thank you.
I come back to it later. I will do that. Yes. Okay. So Peter, how do you make someone to comment? Because that's not easy.
Ask them. This is just something it's very obvious, and we most of the time we forget. Ask people to comment in your post. Just tell them, or insert it into the visual.
Okay.
Just put comment below, please, with a hand pointing down if you're using Facebook.
Okay, that's a good idea. And another question is, which I am struggling with, how do I go outside my friends? Because of the algorithm of social media, you always end up with your friends.
That's something which is in Facebook. It's a little bit complicated. There are ways to do it, but it would go way beyond the concept of this moment. But basically, it's trying to find groups which are dedicated to the service project you want to promote, and participate in these groups. That is the way you will get. You don't need to have them as friends. Just participate in the group, because all people in the group will see it.
Okay, so for instance, like your page or something like that?
A page is not the same as a group.
As a group, okay.
A page, let's say, if we put it in a real life example, a page would be the outside of a shop, and a group would be the inside.
Okay.
So the outside only gives an image, an overall image. You have to go in to know what's going on, and that's the group. Okay,
and then the last thing was the difference between a fundraiser and a project. I found very useful, because that is important. That you have to when you want to have money from people, you have to be emotional. You have to talk to emotions, whether it's happy or it's sad.
I think we already addressed it in the last or the previous or one of the firesides before. Tell a story.
Yes. Yes.
You get to people telling a story. If just facts and data won't get to the emotions, you need to emotion people.
Yes.
There's no other way.
Okay. Thank you so much, Peter, for your secrets of marketing.
You're welcome.
Question?
Yes, of course. Did you raise your hand? Otherwise, I cannot find you. Yes.
Yep.
Where are you?
Eric.
Please
PDG
speak.
Eric, right?
Please speak.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, Eric.
Yep. Yes, I found your talk very, very interesting. Just one question. We in the UK have the impression that the website is not generally used so much by the younger generation, and that the modern media is Facebook, and that's the way the young people communicate. If I understand what you're saying, is that maybe not the fact, and we should be concentrating more for our serious stuff on the website, rather than, as we've tended to do, just put it on Facebook and leave it at that?
I think we should do both, because it's obvious that younger people are on the social networks. But if we want to find information, we're using the search engines, and we will end up on a website. So we have to combine both.
Sure.
That's what I said. A short message with a first impression on the social networks, but directing them with the call to action, directing them to the longer extended version on a website. This will give us a link to the website. People who are really interested in what we are saying in our social media post will go to the website to read the rest. Those who are not interested, we don't miss anything with these people, because they are just scrolling down the messages, the posts on Facebook. So we should combine both. Social media should be like a teaser for really interested people to go to the website and find everything.
Okay, does that answer your question, Eric? Okay, he nods. Okay. We have another question from Nilgun. please go
Thank you,
ahead.
Elizabeth. My question is, which social media is the right one to address our target groups? Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, or which one should we concentrate on?
Depends on your
Thank you.
target group. If you want to target Leos, you go to TikTok. If you want to target lions, depends. If your lions are just regular people who are using Facebook for leisure, you can use Facebook. If you want to target professionals, you go to LinkedIn. Depends on your target group. What I am using for our club and in Spain are Facebook, Pinterest. Pinterest is very interesting because Pinterest is a search engine. It's not a social network. It's a search engine for images. And I think it's the 4th or 5th biggest search engine in the world right now. And we're using YouTube because YouTube has also a long lifespan. The videos last a lot of time, and you can put up a video, and maybe 2 years later somebody comes because he saw your video. So I think Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. And if you want to go to professionals, LinkedIn.
Okay, thank you so much. And I have one last question here in the chat. How do we educate old Lions members to modern ICT connections? That's a good question.
I think that's a question we should ask Brooke to respond.
No.
But
I would
think,
yeah, sorry.
I think it is. It should be very interesting. It is very interesting to have some sort of training program, at least in the basics of marketing.
Okay, we have that on the Lion Learning Center, but I would like to give you an example. What we did in my district, we used Leo clubs, going to Lions clubs to teach us how to use modern technology. So please use your Leos because they know. And they even made a fundraising project out of it, because with every Lions clubs they went, they asked a little amount of money, but that was their fundraising activity actually, and it worked very well. So that is also what you could do. Of course. You could also go to one of your local schools where they're teaching social networking or basic web design. We all have children or grandchildren. They can help us out also. Okay. Okay, thank you, Peter. We are closing this topic because we want to zoom in on our Kili for Kids project. And I share my screen again. Let me see where I am. Here I am. That was Peter on the questions. And I would like to turn your attention to our New Voices fundraising campaign for Kili for Kids. And I would like to give the floor to Anelia to give us an update on it.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good evening, dear friends. At our previous Fireside in December, New Voices Europe team announced the start of Kili for Kids fundraising campaign and asked you to donate and to help us in raising $25,000 for building the Amrita Center nursery and secure the access to education and better life for the most vulnerable kids in Kenya. Thank you to all team members, to our supporters and generous donors who contributed and became the proud ambassadors of Kili for Kids to inspire others. So far, in less than 2 months from the start, we are now at 50% of the goal. And we still have to make more steps to get to the top. Let me show you who is willing to help us to succeed. Elizabeth, next slide, please.
Hello. In 2019, a group of 10 women from Lions from 10 different countries climbed Mount Kilimanjaro using their experience and the stories of the children of the Ati River region, to raise money to build a nursery school, to provide nutrition, education and safety to 120 of the most vulnerable children in Africa. The project is only $13,000 away from its final goal and needs a final push. I'm following in the footsteps of these women and will try to climb Kilimanjaro myself to continue raising awareness and the donations. This is an opportunity to fight the injustice of childhood poverty and to support women's leadership. My name is Martin from Bulgaria and I'm part of the Big Lion family from 12 years. You can follow and share my updates and please also donate to this project today at the link above. Thank you.
Dear friends, you were the first to see.
Hello.
You were the first to see this first video message of Lion Martin, and I'm sure we will have some more. Together with my Lions and Leo fellows in Bulgaria, I'm very proud of him, as together with being a father of two and also a managing director of a production company, he is a true Lions leader. He is a great friend and inspirational example of giving and serving. Martin has climbed Mont Blanc in 2020 and Elbrus in August 2021 and dedicated his expeditions to his Lions Club's campaign, Bulgaria Against Diabetes, which was supported also by LCIF. Now Martin is ready to attempt to reach the highest peak in Africa, and we all will be excited to follow him on the way and support with donations. His trip will start on the 11th of February, and now, even if he is very busy to train and to get ready and prepare for the challenge, Martin is here with us and maybe he can tell us something more. Martin?
Hello. Hello to all. So I'm Martin and I'm here today with a few members of our club actually and part of the supporting team in Bulgaria. So thanks for the invitation for this meeting. It was great and interesting and quite helpful. So a few words for the Kili project. Well, the decision to join directly into K4K came spontaneously 4 weeks ago. As around Christmas and New Year, I've noticed a very high activity over the project over all Bulgarian Lions channels, and especially by the new voices and the ladies part of the clubs. So at the same time, Kilimanjaro was in my bucket list, and yeah, so here we are today with two major objectives: to support the project and its final steps toward the 100,000 kilo goal, and number two, but not last, to support the women leadership. I'd like to join Bulgaria actively into this project. So we hope in a couple of weeks we summit Kili for one, and then we get to our final goals for the project. So thanks for the moment. If any questions, I'll be happy.
Okay, Martin, thank you so much. In the beginning of this fireside, I asked him if his muscles are ready for the challenge. Because from the ladies, I know it's you start, but then it gets heavier and heavier and higher and more challenging. So we are very, very convinced, Martin, that you will reach the top. And as I have understood from Anelia, because look at her background, this is the flag he will plant on the top of the Uluru Peak. So we are very, very looking forward to the pictures and the videos so we can promote your efforts for this wonderful project. Thank you so much, Martin, for what you do.
Thanks a lot. We'll keep in touch and yeah, we'll keep updates continuously. So
we will follow you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Okay, very well done. Yes, dear friends, this fireside I think was truly inspiring and useful, as I see in the chats as well. I would like to encourage you to bring this knowledge to your clubs in your districts, because with this you really can make a difference. And also, please share this project, share what Martin does, because it's huge to go almost 6,000 meters high to just for one project. I admire you, because I could never do that. I would like to thank you all for being here today. Thank you for your commitment to stay with the New Voices. I wish you a great weekend. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, my team, which is always ready and always working. Take care and stay healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you very
I was
much.
sharing that you can chat.
Elizabeth, sorry.
Yes,
I had a
Carla.
quick- Sorry,
Yes.
can you repeat or can you tell till when is it possible to donate for Kili for Kids? Is there a date?
You can donate you can donate till the end of this fiscal year. But
Yeah.
we would like to have a deadline of the 31st of March,
Perfect, thank you.
which is very connecting with Martin's efforts to climb the Uluru Peak, because he will start on February 11, and as I have understood, will be there on the 22nd. Is that correct, Martin?
So good luck to Martin.
It's expected, depends on the acclimatization period, but it's expected the summit to happen on 16 or 17 on the night.
Okay, so and during your climb, we will follow you and try to get as many donations as we can. But the actual deadline for the Kili for Kids project is the 31st of March. Okay? Anyone else would like to say something, like to cheer, or whatever you want to say?
Maybe some of the 10 women hikers are with us tonight, so if they wish to say something, they are more than welcome.
Who is here from the...
Armine Organizan from Russia.
Ah, Armine, hi.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Oh, Ina is here. Ina, hi.
Yeah, Ina is here as
Ina
well, and Hannah is here.
And
Yeah,
Hannah.
thank you.
I just wanted to tell good luck for Martin. We have some contacts that would like to give to him, and maybe with that change our phones and we can talk about some details, because we need also our person that going to Tanzania, because we have some deal in Tanzania and he can help us. It's very, very good.
Thank you, Ina.
Our minute to tell something.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Martin very much, because it's real challenge. We all 10 women know what we are talking about, but it's also experience that he will never forget. That's obvious. And I wanted to say, if you need any recommendations or something, please contact us. But I heard that you already were on Elbrus and Mont Blanc, so you don't need any recommendations at all. Just good luck, and thank you so much for doing this and for supporting the project. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Amina. Thank you, Ina, for your presence. We support you as the New Voices. Okay, Heike, would you like to say something?
Yes, I'd like to show a picture from the calendar that was sold for this group and for this project. I have been to Kilimanjaro a few years ago already, and I saw in this picture, I may suggest that this is from the school that you are supporting.
Yes.
And as you can see, many of these children, they are albinos. And albinism in Africa is a very big problem, because one thing that they will get blind because of the sun, and there's no sunshade in their eyes. And another thing that people in Africa, they believe that these people are under magical
Cursed.
curse. Yeah.
Yes.
So they are abandoned from their families. So they really need our help.
Thank you so much.
And I will help.
Thank you so much, Heike. Thank you for your support. Who else would like to say something? Because we have 5 minutes left. So whatever you want to chat about, Meral, would you like to say something? No?
I would like to say Happy New Year to everybody.
Okay.
And best greetings from Istanbul, Turkey. Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you for being here.
Gudrun is with us.
Where is she? Where is
She raised the hand. She raised the hand.
Gudrun, you raised your hand. You have to unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. I came in late, so I missed the first half, but I will see the recording.
Yes. Okay.
And I wish you good luck for the continuing of this fundraising, and thank you, New Voices. I knew you could do it. And I thank all new efforts to raise more money because we want to reach the goal. It's very important. Thank you again, Elizabeth and Anelia, and everyone who is supporting this fundraising efforts. Great project.
Thank you. Greetings to Iceland.
Thank you.
Okay, my dears. Ina, you have raised your hand. Would you like to say something else?
No, I already told.
Okay, no, then you had still your hand up, so no problem. Okay, my dear friends, I would like to close the session. I thank you for being here. See you next time. Our next Fireside is on March 31st. Don't miss it. We will have another exciting topic and an update on the Killing for Kids project, of course. So thank you all. Martin.
Thank you. Okay, goodbye everybody.
Bye.
Good luck.
Good luck, Martin.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.